because weird things happen, let's jump back into edit mode, and we're going to find out if we have any non-manifold meshes, son of a... Welcome everybody, I'm Jason, the creator of Team Rocco Robotics. In just a moment here, we'll dive into Blender to see how you can resolve some practical examples of non-manifold vertices. But two quick notes first. So first of all, I'm going to be working on this guy here. It's a paint template for my combat robot Microflash Delta, but these techniques apply to any sort of 3D modeling in Blender for 3D printing, whether it's templates like this, cosplay, miniature wargaming, whatever it may be. It's all kind of the same thing, and non-manifold vertices plague all those types of modeling. Second, a non-manifold vertice roughly accounts to some sort of geometry that can exist in the computer, but not in real life. That's why if you import these models that have these things into slicer programs, sometimes they do really weird stuff because it's trying to take something that can't really exist in the real world and trying to make it do so, and oftentimes things go sideways really quickly. And that's what we're trying to solve here, is basically sort that stuff out on our end by making our choices, and therefore the slicer program will be happy. So now when it comes to actually fixing these non-manifold vertices, one important rule is that when you go to do the operation where you select the non-manifold vertices in Blender, make sure you have nothing selected. This operation only adds to the vertices you have selected. It doesn't basically replace them. So if you have a couple of vertices already selected, when you go to do select non-manifold, it'll basically make it look like those vertices that were selected are non-manifold when they may not be, and that'll drive you absolutely nutty. So always start with nothing selected when you do these operations. Sometimes it'll look like certain vertices don't look to be non-manifold, but Blender thinks they are. This can be caused because there are other vertices connected to them which are non-manifold. So always try to fix the vertices that are obviously wrong first, then rerun the non-manifold select, and you may find that it actually addresses issues with other vertices that you didn't even touch. So let's start with a simple example here with Shift-N, which basically makes all of our normals face to the outside. Now one thing I should do, we're going to do Shift-N. This recalculates the normals to where basically you're telling Blender that all the faces are facing outward. That might be a way to solve some of these problems. In fact, that solves a lot of the problems. Sometimes it can be as simple as that. Or another common thing, especially the result of weird Boolean operations, is that faces don't get filled in. So you have like a piece of your 3D model here that might have the vertices and edges, but there's basically nothing solid. And that's one way to get all sorts of non-manifold vertices. Let's take a look at how to solve that one right now. So there were a few problems with this process, which isn't terribly surprising. In particular here, there's no face here. You can see into the mesh, which isn't good. So what I need to do is go area by area and rebuild the faces. It's not a hard process. You got to choose all the vertices that need to become a face, and then press F to make them a face. Now one of the other things you can run into are called internal faces, where if you imagine if you had a flat face here but it was inside your model somewhere, it's kind of a strange concept because it doesn't exist in the real world, but in 3D math land your object is not actually solid, so you can have an outside face on the inside, and it's like it creates problems with slicers because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So follow these few examples to look for this kind of an issue with non-manifold vertices. That's the one I'm interested in, is that one. Ah, there we go. So you can tell that's an internal face because it's selected right now. You can see the edges are selected, but the face itself is not visible anywhere in solid mode, so there's another internal face hiding in there. Those telltale differences in shadings are what you're looking for the internal faces. Delete that. I think that's another interior face. You can see it's a little bit darker shading than the rest of the areas. So all that really means is a duplicate face there. So for example, this darker shading is not necessarily interior face. It just means there's two faces there. But I know that there shouldn't be a face there, and if I jump to solid mode, Once again, I can see the edges selected, but I can't see the face. So I know that's an interior face. So the shading is only one step of the process to identifying an interior face, but once you get used to it a few times and kind of get practice with it, you will be able to tell what's interior face and what's not. So let's delete that. So let me focus here now on this face that's selected. There's still an internal face in there, even though I thought I deleted one. Maybe there was 2 extra ones? Huh. There's like 2. Weird. So some sort of weird quirk of geometry had us 2 internal faces right there. I deleted a few earlier. So let's go back and see if that does what I needed to do. Okay, that's definitely a step in the right direction. Now another common thing are duplicate vertices. If you imagine at a corner of your object, essentially what happens is you have 2 points right here when there only should be 1, and between those 2 points, one might be connected to this edge and the other might be connected to this edge. And because of that, this point doesn't actually exist in reality because it's 2 half points. It's once again weird 3D math concepts, but take a look at some of these examples, how you can look for that and resolve those types of non-manifold vertices. So let me take a look up here. Something is odd. And here's what I mean. You see this orange line right here? That indicates that one of the vertices adjacent to this edge is selected, but not both of them because it only goes halfway across. But if we follow the orange line across, it hits a black vertice, which means it's not selected. I bet there are 2 vertices right there. See what I did? You can click, if you click back and forth, it's swapping between 2 vertices. So let me merge those 2 together. Alt-M, merge at center, and there's probably a few others. Yep, you can see same thing going on there. See how every time I click, the lines dance around. So let's merge those 2 together. And see if there's any more of those. Nope. Nope. All right, let's try that out. That's definitely going to solve a few problems. Internal edges. Now this one's kind of like internal faces in that it's also, once again, confusing 3D math. But if you imagine you had this point up here and then this point on the inside down here, and there's a line connecting them, but that edge isn't outside in the real world at all, it's just entirely inside the model, well, that's going to cause trouble as well. So take a look at this example, how to find those and resolve that type of non-manifold vertice. I think what it is there's an interior edge in there. So let me go back to wireframe. See how these 2 vertices are connected by this edge, but if we go to solid mode, the edge is inside there. It's not doing any good. So let me delete this edge and that'll probably resolve the issue. So kind of like interior faces, interior edges can be problems as well. Now, the last one can be kind of tricky to spot because it doesn't really look like there's anything wrong with the model, so you start clicking around on face select, and that is overlapping or duplicate faces. So sometimes, with some weird thing, Blender basically makes the model such that a vertice belongs to multiple faces and those faces overlap each other, which is a no-no because once again, that's a 3D thing that exists in the computer but not in the real world. So you got to try to figure out where these overlapping faces are, delete them, and rebuild them. And the example I'm going to show here is a really tricky one because it's actually duplicate faces right on top of each other. Somehow these 3 vertices in a triangle I'm about to show you, they got 2 faces assigned to them, and because of that, Blender wasn't happy at all. And the only way you could kind of figure that out is this bit of deductive reasoning. You've kind of gone through all the other possibilities, and by dumb luck, well, not dumb luck, we come down to the last option. You click on the face, hit delete face, not vertices or edges, just delete face, and you notice the face gets deleted, but there's still one there. So let's take a look at this example. What there could be sometimes is overlapping faces, where these 3 vertices belong to more than one face. Let's find out if that might be the issue. So click around to adjacent faces. It doesn't look like it. I can hit X. I can delete this face. Oh. there's two identical faces. See that? Okay, so now I think I went back far enough. If I click on this face, X delete face, it's still there. For some reason, probably because there's all those double vertices, there was two identical faces. Well, there you go, everybody. I want to thank you guys all for watching this video. Hopefully this gives you a few practical examples of how you can kind of track down and resolve non-manifold vertices. Now, this is not an exhaustive list. You'll probably run into a few others, but at the end of the day, when it comes to fixing these things, it's often all about how to basically merge vertices together. Sometimes you got to delete faces, rebuild them, and every now and then, depending on what happened, you might have to split a edge in half with the subdivide command and merge some vertices that way. So feel free to experiment around, and if you have any other questions related to non-manifold vertices, feel free to put them in the comments and I'll try to answer them as best as I can. But the topic of non-manifold is very much a visible thing, in terms of viewing examples, and trying to describe it via text is very, very challenging. But if you got a good question, maybe I'll make a video about it in the future. The trick is just trying to duplicate whatever situation you ran into, because some of these are very much going to be specific to whatever workflow you're following. So with that, once again, I'm Jason, the creator of Team Rocko Robotics, as well as the Tabletop Battlefield. If you like more combat robots, tabletop wargaming, or cosplay, feel free to hit subscribe on this channel to catch those videos when they are released. So until next time, thanks for watching, and have a great week.